WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Here's your host, Rick Semler.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Stands. I got someone who I respect a ton, a friend of mine, and someone who I love covering. I'm talking about Indiana State football head coach Curt Mallory, a first-time guest on Beyond the Stand. That's hard to believe. I've tried to get him on before, but he's a busy guy. Coach, good to see you.
Well, it's great. Thanks for having me on, and it's a privilege to be on with you, Rick.
Well, one of the reasons I'm having Coach on is, and I can make this statement, the Sycamores this past Saturday, I think might have pulled the biggest upset in all of college football. Indiana State went to number 4 South Dakota State and won 24-12. Coach, I guess first of all, just talk about that win and how special it was for your group.
Well, I'm awfully proud of this team and how they've stayed together. And give all the credit to the players and the coaches, and they did a great job in preparation, and I thought they went out there with a great mindset and started off with a great kick return, and things just got going, and the energy really rose, and been telling the team all along, you know what you're capable of doing. We just got to put 4 quarters and 3 phases together.
You spoke of they came out there to play, and they got to put it together. I can be honest, I've seen a lot of teams do this over the years, whether high school or college. When you've lost 6 straight and you're sitting there at 2-6, they could have easily just folded up and like, we're done. Your group has not done that. What does it say about your group?
Well, I think it says a lot about their character, and how they come to work every day. You see it in practice. I keep telling them, the one thing I know is you stay together. You got each other, keep playing hard. Keep practicing hard, and I don't know when it's going to happen, but the wins will come, and that's how they approached it. And we went out there with a mindset, as we have, in every game, and was able to, put 4 quarters together and get the W.
You spoke about it. You don't know when the wins are coming. You should have got South Dakota on homecoming. You were so close. You've been close. Do you feel your team is better than their 3-6 record?
Hold on 1 second here. I want to. Okay, sorry. But yeah, we've obviously had a heck of a schedule, but we knew that going into it. That as soon as the season started, we talked about what a great challenge we were going to have. We were going to have 2 good opponents early on. We were able to start off 2-0. And then after that, we played a very good Indiana team. And, of course, they're rightfully so, one of the best teams in the country. And then we went out to Montana. And then we've played 6 ranked teams or 4 ranked teams right after that. And so, we knew going into it we were going to have a heck of a run. And every team we play in the conference is really, really good.
You speak of that 6 straight weeks of playing ranked opponents. Have you ever had this tough of a schedule?
Oh boy, not that I remember. You've been, you play in the Big Ten Conference, and obviously some great teams, but never a non-conference where you're playing what now is the number 2 ranked team, I believe, Montana, and number 2 ranked team in the country, Indiana. And then hit just, week in and week out. And this week is no different. Play another ranked team, and that's part of being in the best conference in the country with the Missouri Valley. You beat number 4 South Dakota State. That's the highest ranked opponent that you've beaten since you've taken over the Sycamores. The reaction on social media was crazy. Everybody was so excited for you. This wasn't, I know every win you try to treat the same, and every game you try to treat the same, but this wasn't just another win. How big is this look going forward for your program to pick up a win over one of the top teams in the country and a top 5 opponent? Well, what I told them is, today in the team meeting that, the goal was to go 1-0. And the biggest challenge will be to and keep that going. We had a big win. It was a great win, but it's only one win. and you have to look at it like that. And most important one's the next one. And we got another great challenge coming up this week.
I do have to ask you, you speak of the 1-0, and I get that. That's the coach talk. But Indiana State, that's the highest ranked opponent that Indiana State has beat since 2012. This stuff doesn't happen very often. How big is that for the Sycamore program to pick up, that kind of win over that high of an opponent? It is a bigger win than normal.
Yeah, I told them, bet on ourselves. We're, obviously that's probably not a great term, but believe in yourselves, and it was a big win. There's no question about it. To beat a ranked opponent at a place that had won 35 straight home games until last week when they played North Dakota State, and then we were able to follow up and do it again. But they've had great success at home. But I think these guys realize that, hey, we can keep winning. And as long as we come to work every day, stay together. But I think it's a huge win for the program, and we just got to keep building from that.
You have 3 games left in the season. You talked about going 1-0 each week. But to be able to finish the season strong with 3 games, the potential to finish 500, how big is that for your program, not only for the rest of this season, going into the offseason, and potentially going into next season?
Well, that's been the goal all along, is to build a championship program and to build the program. I love this football program, love this university, and want to see the program championship. And not going to win a conference championship this year, but we sure can build on it. And these last 3 games are vital. And I think the way we finish is going to propel us into next year. But it's all about winning this next one and the one after that. And I'm going to put everything I got into these last 3 games.
I got to ask you about Rashad Rochelle. A big reason you won against South Dakota State. He had a unbelievable game. Kickoff return for a touchdown, 2 receiving touchdowns. He's had a good season for you. What does he mean to your ball club?
Well, he's a playmaker. We want to make sure we can get the ball in his hands. And, of course, he made a great play on the kickoff return, had 2 big touchdowns during the game. But, he's an explosive guy, and he means a ton. We've got a lot of really good players around him, and, everyone has to keep stepping up.
He was just named the MVC Offensive Player of the Week, well-deserved. You also got the Defensive Player of the Week from the MVC in Nick Yatsko, a Terre Haute South kid. I know a lot of people in the area root for him, being a local kid. He had a monster game, 14 tackles, a forced fumble, 2 tackles for a loss. A redshirt freshman playing for you, kind of young to be playing in today's college football. Talk about his season and what he's doing for you.
Well, Nick's getting better and better each week. We've been playing him at the nickelback position. He's played safety for us, but he's really settled in. He's played really well on special teams, but, boy, he's really showing up these last few games, and he's got a bright future. I'm just really proud of Nick and the season he's having, but he's still got a lot of good football, great football ahead of him.
One player I got to ask you about is Kamal Clark, a safety, has pro potential. You see everybody talking about him. He's kind of a hidden gem just because he plays at the FCS level. I guarantee if he was playing at the FBS level, everybody would know about him. How talented is this young man, and do you see him having the potential to play on Sundays?
I've been blessed to be around some really good safeties, and, he's every bit as good as them. He can down the ball. He hits with great force. He loves the contact part of it. But he's so fun to coach because he's like that every day. He comes to practice every day, wants to get better. He takes great coaching, and he's got a promising future for sure.
I'll leave you with this. You host Illinois State on Saturday. I know you'd love to have a big crowd out in Terre Haute for the ball game. Just break down the game, and obviously you want to play like you did against South Dakota State, but what do you guys got to do to make it 2 in a row this week?
Well, I think the main thing is we got to continue to get more consistency with the offensive side of the football. Chains moving, we're pretty hard to stop, and so we got to continue to. I thought we showed some better signs on the offensive side, but still a lot of improvement I think we can do there. But if we can continue to improve on, all three phases and play 4 quarters, the thing that we did offensively I thought was good. We didn't give up a sack, and that's a really good defense, and we didn't turn the ball over. And our defense really played stout when they had to. They had the ball inside the 50-yard line 11 times and only came away with 12 points. So, you're doing a good job there with our defensive side.
Well, Coach, I know I'm not out at practice every day like I used to be, or weekly like I used to be, but I'm following you from a distance. Extremely happy for you. There's no better person in college football, a genuine person, both a family guy and a great coach. So happy for you to pick up the biggest win in your ISU career over number 4 South Dakota State, and keep doing big things for Indiana State football.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and Rick, I got nothing but great respect for you, and I love what you do for Indiana sports, the Wabash Valley, and I sure do miss having you out at practice every day. So thanks again for having me on.
Anytime, Coach. Good to talk to you. So that's Indiana State football head coach Curt Mallory coming off the Sycamores win over number 4 South Dakota State. This coming Saturday, they host Illinois State. That does it for this edition of Beyond the Stands.
WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Catch this episode again and more of Rick's interviews online at mywabashvalley.com.